Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. So, Line of Duty is such a sensation in the UK. I was watching Good Morning Britain, and they had Adrian Dunbar, who plays Hastings, on as a guest, and the hosts were so excited. They were like, "What happens in the final episode?" And I couldn't get over it. Were you very familiar with this show before you took on the role of DCI Joanne Davidson?
Yeah, I was familiar with the show. I hadn't sat down and watched it. I'd watched there's a show here called Gogglebox. I don't know if you've got it in America, but it's basically real people at home watching TV shows and their reactions to them. So I'd watched people watching Line of Duty. Yeah, that had been so I knew what the show was when I was offered the part. I was completely, it came out of the blue and I was really excited. And, it's quite, if you're going to do TV over here, it's like the biggest show there is.
There are several terms on the show that I didn't understand at first, like chiz. I don't know if that's maybe an American British thing, but I looked up online. They have several pages of terminology for line of duty. I'm wondering, did you get a sheet like that with your first script so that you could understand what you were saying?
No, it's a good idea though. That would have been quite helpful. But actually, when we were filming, the hair and makeup department had made their own list up, so that they could reference it, and we used it as well. It's helpful.
Did you get all the scripts in advance so you could see where your character was going, or did you only get one at a time?
Before, when I got offered the part, I was given 2 episodes to read, and then it was a while before I got anything else, to be honest. But Jed gave me the lowdown sort of the arc of her character, but not quite the specifics. He was very cagey about that to start with. And actually, I think it might just be part of his personality and why he does what he does is so successful, because he keeps people guessing and wondering. And that went as even like that. That was like even with the actors he's cast in the show, But eventually, I had all the information.
Now, this is filmed in Northern Ireland, but where is it set? Because it seems to me it's more like somewhere in England.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's somewhere in the middle of England. They're not specific about it, about what city it is, but they've been filming. I think the first couple of seasons they might have shot in England. But it's been filmed in Belfast for a long time. It's their other home now, really.
It seems like almost every police officer on this show is bent, or as we say, crooked. Even your character gets accused of being bent. How stressful was that to play? Because I was so concerned for her, because I'd watched the earlier seasons and I saw what happened to some of the police officers who were put in prison.
Yeah, I know. It reminded me a little bit of, I did a show called Boardwalk Empire, and we were always in fear. Every time a new episode was sort of sent out, everybody was, just desperately worried that their character was next to go. And I thought my character for sure was gonna get killed, certainly in the last season, but she somehow survived. But yeah, so this is the same. There's like people come to bad ends often, and yeah. Okay.
Tell me about your co-stars, the series regulars, Martin Compston, Vicky McClure, and Adrian Dunbar, because I've seen some internet, like, let's say, Instagram videos of them goofing around behind the scenes. Are they really fun to work with?
They're really fun to work with. They're great. And they're, like my part in the show was, all my stuff really was with Vicky, which was lovely. So, I got to have an interesting dynamic with her. But, she's the troublemaker. She's in charge of boys, and she makes them do all these videos and things. And yeah, she's the instigator, the fire starter.
Yeah. Now, on this show, the great thing about this is that, like in the first series or season, we get to see this kid who's like 12. And then in the season that you play, he's now a rookie police officer. With all these people coming back and appearing through the series, did you need any kind of guidance as to who these people were?
No, I mean, I was sort of midway through the 4th season by the time I was about to start filming, and I needed to just concentrate on the job in hand. So I had seen Gregory Piper, who plays Ryan, as this little kid just like a couple of months before I met him, which was, I mean, hilarious. And yeah, I didn't need... I think the great thing about Line of Duty is that you can watch the seasons. They do sort of stand up on their own, even though they always reference previous seasons and previous characters and storylines. It's not a prerequisite really, but it was just fun to work with Gregory, having seen him play this horrid little kid.
Oh yes, he was just terrible. And then when he showed up again, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I thought it was just fantastic casting on the part of the filmmakers to bring him back.
Yeah, he's the sweetest person in the world, like that at all. So it's a testament to his acting, really.
Now, you're one of the few people to have the honor of playing a Disney princess in an animated film, and you played one of my favorites, Merida from Brave. What do you enjoy most about that distinction? Do you get any kind of benefits from that, like free passes for life to Disney?
Oh God, the Disney thing's funny, actually. I have been to Disney, and they were really nice to me. It was great. I took the kids a few years ago, and we got to meet Merida at Disney, which was just a bit odd. It was a bit... it was just very odd, someone playing a version of me. But when I was doing the part, like when I was recording, it was Pixar. Disney weren't involved. It takes a long time, these animations. And there was people that were involved before I got involved as an actress, like for years. And so I was aware that I was going to be the first Pixar princess. So that was the thing. And then by the time we were doing press for it, I was suddenly a Disney princess, and that seemed to happen sort of out of the blue for me. So yeah, it's a nice sort of, a nice string to my bow, an arrow.
Now, like you said, you've done Boardwalk Empire. You've also done No Country for Old Men and several other American productions. What is the difference between being on a British set versus an American set?
What is the difference? I mean, the films that I tend to be involved in are on the lower end of the budget normally, even if they're, the Coen brothers or it's not like I've been on a big shiny Marvel film or something. I'm sure that would feel very different. But like I've said it before, but craft service is the only real discernible difference I've found. It's just nice to be able to pick and choose when you have a sandwich. It's there all the time in America.
Oh. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
And you also get like hot meals every couple of hours or something?
I know it's not about the food, but it does help. Craft service. I just like the craft service table. It's a bit like being in the smoker's corner. You get to just sort of hang about, or the water cooler. You get to stand around and have conversations and make a sandwich and have some M&Ms.
And finally, what can people see you in next? Because I heard you have something really big on the horizon.
I mean, there's something I that hasn't been announced yet, but it's just I'm just a little part of it. I don't know what Operation Mincemeat, I think, is the next thing to come out, and that's a film that I got to reunite with Colin Firth again. So this is our hat trick film together. And so that was a lot of fun. It was Matthew McFadden, who's just so brilliant in Succession, and Penelope Wilton, and some really tremendous talent.
Yeah, when I saw the cast and what it's about, I'm like really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But of course, first people need to watch Line of Duty. It is so suspenseful, so exciting. You're so fantastic in it. And I just want to say thank you so much for chatting with me today, Kelly. It's been such a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been nice. A bit of socializing.
Take care.
Bye.